by the reason of consistent obedience and working with God, and the diverse encounters that continue to happen in the life of a minister, an individual, he gained rank in the spirit, and from that strength of rank in the spirit, he become a friend of God. He become a man after God's own heart. Many apostolic voices, if you check their life, there is a burden upon their heart that you can never be able to understand. That burden is the intention of God. That burden is more like the cry of God. It's more like the expectation of God in keeping to creation. A pastor can come into a region and see darkness everywhere, people dying everywhere, carnality everywhere, and he'll be okay. An apostle will come and say, no, I don't like it. There is an anger, a holy anger that comes. Why? Because he's going as a messenger of the Lord. So when Jesus finished equipping them, he sent them. He said, go and conquer every region. So Paul was writing as one that was sent by God, but yet he showed us something, that with all his ranking in the spirit, with all his anointing, it did not negate the fact that there are still things in him that requires help from God. Yet peradventure he was done preaching a good sermon, but he said that there were things in me that I cannot really understand. And I look at myself and I look so much like all the wretched people that I'm even preaching to. From the books of Romans chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, 4, 5 up to 6, Paul was educating them about spiritual man, a spiritual man, a carnal man, and a natural man. And yet, with all his spirituality, he could still record that there were things in him that does not conform to the likeness and to the character of the Christ. Yet he was an ambassador of the Christ. It became too confusing to an average believer, because if I read it like you, what he meant by there are things I want to do and I find myself not doing, and there are things I do not want to do that I find myself doing. If I want to understand it together with you, it means that peradventure he was supposed to pray, he find himself not praying, yet he was a preacher. He was supposed to fast, he find himself not fasting. He was supposed to live a holy life, he find himself not living a holy life. But the worst part of it, that one is a law of sin, that the things you are supposed to do according to kingdom standard, you refuse to do them. But when the things you are not supposed to do, you now further find yourself doing them, it's a law of death. Peradventure, Paul the apostle was not supposed to steal, yet he find himself stealing. He was not supposed to lie, yet he find himself lying. He was not supposed to fornicate, yet he find himself fornicating. So it became so confusing. If it was only okay that he was supposed to pray and he did not pray, no problem. He was supposed to give, he refused to give, no problem. He was supposed to fast and refused to fast, no problem. But now, apart from disobeying God, you now find yourself obeying the devil. And yet you are an apostle ordained by God with rank in the spirit. He came and preached about holiness. When he was done, suddenly he went and fell again. He speak about the need to pray. When he went to his room, he sleep them all. Many people read his writings and they became spiritual men, yet him too was a carnal man. And when Paul came to a point, he began to cry. He said, oh wretched man, who will deliver me? Because at the point that he is now, nobody can deliver him. Do you know why? Because when your pastor is having an issue, will you be the one that will deliver him? Who have the capacity, the rank, and the authorization, and the anointing in the spirit as Paul to even come and say they will pray for him? At that point, what Paul needed was not the help of man. What he needed was the help of God. So while he began to cry, I am a wretched man, although I am an apostle sent by God. Because he did not actually want what was going on in his life. Suddenly his prayer point changed. Before he was praying for power, before he was praying for the anointing, before he was praying for prosperity, and now he realized that he had the power, he had the anointing, he had the prosperity, yet he was a wretched man.